Hello everyone, you are watching the first video in the multiplication and division series for stages 4 to 5. In the previous series we showed you how to skip count in 2s, 5s and 10s. This video will help you to learn the 2, 5 and 10 times table and then to skip count forwards in a pattern of 3. Let's begin with our 2 times tables. Here we have our first equation of 0 times 2. Remember that the first digit, also called a factor, will tell us how many sets or groups we have. In this case we have none. If we did have any groups, there would be 2 in each group. A story that this equation could describe is: if each flower pot had 2 flowers in it, how many flowers do we have all together? Since there are no pots here, we will have no flowers. Now, here we have 1 times 2. The story for this equation could be that we now have 1 flower pot with 2 flowers in it, and therefore we would have a total of 2 flowers. Let's continue learning our 2 times tables. Please join in with me. Here we go. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 2 is 12. 7 times 2 is 14. 8 times 2 is 16. 9 times 2 is 18. And 10 times 2 is 20. Now let's learn our multiplication facts for 5. 0 times 5 is 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 5 is 30. 7 times 5 is 35. 8 times 5 is 40. 9 times 5 is 45, and 10 times 5 is 50. Have you been remembering to join in? Finally, let us learn the multiplication facts for 10. 0 times 10 is 0. 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 3 times 10 is 30. 4 times 10 is 40. 5 times 10 is 50. 6 times 10 is 60. 7 times 10 is 70. 8 times 10 is 80. 9 times 10 is 90. And 10 times 10 is 100. You can review these timetables as many times as you need to until you can remember them on your own. Just keep practicing. Once you feel confident about recalling these timetables, you can move on to skip counting forwards in a pattern of 3. This is a new area of knowledge that you will need to start working on. Skip count in 3s with me as the counters drop. Here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, and 36. Review this video until you feel confident about skip counting forward in a pattern of 3. Now you can move on to watching video 2 in this series, where you can learn to divide by 2, 5 and 10, and to use skip counting backwards when working with 3s. Bye for now.